What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob. Tonight I'm live, and I'm reviewing Ardbeg Grooves. This one's the committee release. All right. I'm gonna wait a couple seconds for people to jump in. Hopefully, we have some viewers tonight. We got Duncan. He is the first aboard. What's up, buddy? Nice to see you. So, peer pressured a little bit tonight to do a live. Not that I didn't want to. I was just long day. I had an interview for another school. Not that I needed a new job. I just wanted to get a little closer to home. So, looks like I will be working at a new school as of next year. It's pretty cool. But you guys don't need to know that stuff. All you need to know is we're reviewing the Ardbeg Committee Release tonight, the Grooves. We got George Kaplan in the house. What's up, brother? Nice to see you. John Post, hey, how's it going? Bourbon Shenanigans, Mike. We got Chris Santa Cruz and Claire the Third waiting in an airport. All right, buddy, I hope that goes well for you. Tony DiTomaso, what's going on, brother? We got Travis Faircloth, Whiskey Sneerson. Awesome. All the regulars are already joining us. There may or may not be a guest tonight. I'm not 100% sure. I sent him the link. He's one of the guys that kind of peer pressured me into being live tonight, or going live anyway. But yeah, we got this Grooves here. He really wanted to know what I felt about it. It's good stuff so far. I really like it. We're going to talk about it in just a second. Eric Waite just said, I just drooled. I'm not sure. I hope he's referring to the Ardbeg. Bill's in the house. What's going on, buddy? Mark Broda, what's up? He's laughing because I said that I was pressured into going live. Awesome. I don't think I missed anybody. I think I said just about everybody. Bill saying that he thinks Eric was referring to my dashing good looks. With this hairdo, I don't know, man. I think I should put on a hat. Jeremy's in the house. Hey, you went live. Yeah, that's because of you, buddy. I sent you a link, Jeremy. Check it out. Maybe you want to pop in at some point. Yeah, so Ardbeg Grooves Committee Release. For those of you that don't know, Ardbeg releases their special release on Ardbeg Day. For this particular one, it happened to take place on a music festival as well, and they called it Grooves because they used a portion of casks that previously held red wine in them. So they recharred those casks, and they said that the grooves that they got from that recharring is what inspired the name. So they're good storytellers, that's for sure. They have some pretty cool committee releases. It's 51.6%. They always do two versions. They'll do the committee release, and they'll also do the 46%. Jeremy's saying that he's not camera ready. No problem, buddy. We got Toast Thomas. What's going on? Rich, how's it going, brother? Nice to see you. Williams in the house. How's it going, buddy? Awesome. Filling up nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly review this, and then we can chat. I don't know if I'm camera ready today. I'm a little bit sleepy, as you can tell, but we're gonna go through with it anyway. Mark, if you're camera ready, you can send me your email, and then I'll send the link over to you. What's up with Ardbeg Day in Toronto? Anyone know? June 2nd or something? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you, buddy. I do know that the regular Ardbeg Grooves is going to be $200 at the LCBO, which is an absolute travesty. The committee release cost me around $200, but that's with shipping and all that stuff. So much more fair price. And I think you can get it for probably around $150 if you can still find it in the US, or $200 out west in Canada. but the 46% should be a lot less, and it's not, unfortunately. So Jeremy's saying that he thinks it's the Ardbeg Day is going to be an event on Toronto Island. That's pretty cool. We should check that out. Let me know what the date is. Everybody's got excuses tonight. Mark's saying that his battery is only at 13%. It's okay, buddy. I forgive you. WhiskyThrottle in the house. What's going on, brother? Daniel. So on the nose, I'm getting a little bit more iodine and medicinal notes than I did when I originally first opened it, but it's still heavier on like the barbecue side. So I think that's where that wine cask influence comes in. Yeah, Mark's saying that the committee release for this grooves went really quickly. It went quickly everywhere, from what I understand. I don't know if all of them go that quickly. I know that there's a committee release out there right now that is pretty easily accessible, but unfortunately this one, for whatever reason, flew off the shelf. James, what's going on? Okay, so James, I want to tell you a quick story here before I taste this and give it a mark. James is a really cool guy. One of the tallest people I've ever met. Super, super humble, nice guy. He's a really, really cool guy. I made a trade with him for a Cavalon Fino. That may or may not be appearing on the channel, whether or not I decide to give that to my father for Father's Day, but we'll see. Super cool guy. Can't say enough about him. He supports the channel. He just super chatted me. $5. Thank you very much, brother. Really appreciate it. All right, so like I said, it has that interesting combination of Isla Pete, like smells like you would get from like an iodine, like saltiness, also a little bit of like a medicinal note, but then it's dominated more so by I would say like a barbecue note, to be honest with you. Okay, I'm gonna try it neat first and then see if I need to add a little bit of water. So again, it's like fighting forces. You do get that red wine cask, I think, a little bit, because it comes through in this smooth creaminess, and then those medicinal salty notes kind of take over, but in a very nice way. So definitely traditional Ardbeg here, in my opinion. I really like it so far. Both times I've tried it, I've given a couple samples away of this, but the 2 drams that I've taken from it have been excellent. Dram dude in the house. What's up, buddy? Rob, how's it going, buddy? We're filling up nicely. I'm always on the fence as to whether or not I decide I'm going to go live. Tuesdays obviously are a work night for me, so the next day I gotta wake up early, and it also depends on basically if I'm falling asleep on the couch or not. So that's why I tend to release the announcement very late. So I apologize if you guys are just finding out that I'm going live now and are upset about it, but that's just kind of how I roll, and that's probably how I'm going to keep going on Tuesday nights, just because it makes my life a little easier when it's not really planned and it just kind of happens. Bourbon Shenanigans is saying fly the W, but I'm not sure what he's talking about. Christopher's in the house. How much different is it from the standard 10? I would say they're very different. The standard 10 doesn't have some of the thick, creamy characteristics that this one has. There's also a sweeter side to this that I don't think the 10 has. as far as quality goes, I mean, you can get the 10 for a very, very good price in a lot of places. So it's hard to say buy this Ardbeg over that. But I'd be curious to taste the 10 at a higher ABV. I'm pretty sure that that's happened before. I've never tasted it myself. Yeah, I can just imagine this getting better and better. It's really, really good stuff. I'm gonna say this is probably a 90 for me. This is an A+. I love the higher ABV. I love the differences in something that you wouldn't expect from an Ardbeg with that like creamy, rich sweetness, but also you get all that Isla flavor as well, which is really nice. Yeah, Bill's saying that he thinks that the Ardbeg 10 would be improved with a higher ABV. You know what? I like it at 46. I think it's great, but I think it's excellent whiskey for the price. You can't go wrong, and you can't really expect it to be a higher ABV at that price. If they released a cask strength version, I think that would be pretty cool. I'm not sure if they've ever done that before. They may have. So Santa Cruzan is saying that he walked into his local liquor store today and they asked him if he wanted a regular George T. Stagg. Does that mean that, like, are you talking about the George T. Stagg, like the Buffalo Trace Antique collection, or are you talking about like accidentally calling the Stagg Junior George T. Stagg? And a Weller 12. That's insane. Okay, so he must be talking about like the Buffalo Trace. That's crazy, man. I can't believe that actually happens sometimes where you can find those on the shelf for retail price. I'm gonna add a little bit of water just to see if anything changes to this. Santa Cruz, and you are a lucky man, but good things happen to good people. Rich, you're the man, brother. Thanks for all the reviews and great live shows. Honestly, I couldn't do it without you guys. Rich just super chatted me. Thank you so much, brother. That'll buy me a couple drams for sure. Really appreciate it. Interesting on the nose, this. I'm going to see if this works over here. I'm just going to try something really quick. So what are you guys drinking tonight? I haven't asked that question yet. Daniel, check your email, buddy. Yeah, so, oh, actually, that's the one. So the Kelpie committee release, I saw that in quite a few places, actually, that it's still sticking around shelves, which kind of tells me that it's not everybody's favorite. Not 100% sure how that one is. I tried a small sample of it, but I never tried the committee release. George Kaplan is having his first grooves. Is that the committee release as well, or is that the Swami crushing it with a 20? What are you doing, brother? Thank you so much, man. Malted in Montreal. Swami's been extremely generous lately, and for good reason. His channel is growing. He's doing really, really well. But honestly, I don't expect this kind of stuff. Thank you so much for doing that, Swami. I really appreciate it. Guys, check out his channel. His channel is Malted in Montreal. He's reviewing some excellent stuff. And as much as I'd like to do more rums and cognacs, Swami does rums on the regular because he really loves rum. And I love rum as well. So I really appreciate it. I watch every single one of his rum reviews, especially just because there's not enough rum reviews, in my opinion, out there. And those are really important, I think, because it's an excellent spirit. So thank you so much, Swami. Yeah, so George Kaplan's saying that he's drinking the committee release grooves, this one right here, and he can really tell the wine influence. I picked that out right away because it's not something that I expect with an Ardbeg. So it's cool to get because it's different. Don Costello, what's going on, buddy? Nice to see you in the chat. I haven't seen you in the chat in a long time. How are you? I see Dan E mentioned. There he is. Okay, sorry. What's up, Dan? I haven't seen you in the chat just yet, but nice to see you. Deshaun Gregory, what's going on, brother? How are you? Hope I didn't butcher that. Daniel, did you get my email? One sec. This one's not going to shape up to be a very long one, guys. As I was mentioning earlier before a bunch of people jumped in, I recently applied to a new position in my board. So the way it works in Ontario is you can kind of laterally move to schools as long as obviously you're accepted. So I recently got a job at another school, which is pretty cool. I'll be starting elsewhere as of September, but it's been a long day. Kind of did, you know, celebrated with the family, not drinking wise, but like, you know, we went out for dinner and whatnot. Single digits battery. All good, Mark. Thanks for dropping in, brother. I really appreciate it. Guys, if you haven't already, check out the Scotch for Dummies. They have some awesome whiskey that they review on a regular basis, and it's cool. It's different than everybody else in the sense that you get 4 different perspectives every single time, which is kind of cool because then you kind of latch on to somebody that you have similar tastes with, and that's what I've done with the Scotch for Dummies, and I try to watch all their reviews because they're really good. Connor in the house. What's up, buddy? He's saying that he doesn't get any wine from the small amounts grooves. Okay, cool. Yeah, so the wine casks were heavily charred. Maybe it's just that heavily char that I'm getting that smoothing type. I don't know. But also what does happen at times is if there's a little bit of wine in the barrel when they char it, the sugars can crystallize along the walls of the barrel, and that kind of can give it that creamy flavor as well. But I don't know. I really like it. With water, I think it actually improves it even a touch. So with water, I'd probably go up a notch, maybe even to a 91. I like it. It's really good stuff. I think it's just going to get better with time. You can see the fill level is still pretty high. So pretty excited about this one. I recently tried this Highland Park 17-year-old The Dark. I have a soft spot for Highland Park. Many of you know this already. No, I do not get paid by Highland Park. I wish I did. That would be amazing. I wish I didn't have to pay for these super expensive bottles, but unfortunately I do have to pay for them myself. I'm going to pour a little bit of this because I just popped it open and it has a small sample of it. And that'll be my nightcap dram, so I'll let it sit for a little bit, and I'll tell you guys what I think of it. So the Whiskey Dick Bill is saying for everybody to give a quick thumbs up. Thank you. Thanks very much, buddy. Really appreciate it. It does help, believe it or not, if you guys give a thumbs up. So I appreciate it. I think we have a few more people since I last checked the chat. We have Ruslan, George Kaplan. Thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. I'm glad I gave you the right excuse to try this bad boy. Honestly, I really enjoy it. I think it's high quality stuff. So I think you have more than one. And if you did pick up more than one, then you're lucky. And hang on to that extra one because I think it's going to be worth something. So Bill's saying he's got my back. Thank you very much, buddy. I really appreciate the getting everybody to give me a thumbs up. What's going on, Daniel?
Hey.
You're muted, buddy.
Am I? Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you. I don't know. Can everybody else hear Daniel? Well, maybe maybe it's just me. 1 second.
Hello?
Sometimes this computer plays tricks on me. Yeah, it's just me. Sorry, I apologize. What's up, buddy? Okay, now I can't hear you for sure. No, this is not just me. Can you guys hear Daniel? Well, he's here. I'm not talking to myself. I'll just give you a quick show of him. Oh, yeah, there he is. Now you're unmuted. Go. Hello? Oh, maybe he dropped it.
Now you can hear me.
Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
There you go.
There you go. How's it going, buddy?
Good. Enjoying myself out in the middle of the prairies, or as you called it, something I can't pronounce on the
show. I didn't get to finish thanking George just because you jumped in right at the same time. So thank you very much, George. Really appreciate the super chat, buddy.
Somebody's making a comment about my hat, and that would be the guy you're talking to right now, George.
What's the hat? I don't recognize.
It's just an Under Armour hat I wear. I just kind of find it funny on these types of jobs that I go to that guys get a kick out of all the different baseball caps. I have the Budweiser one. I was telling them last night that I bought in a Walmart, and everybody thinks it's made to look rustic or whatever, vintage, pardon me. So I just think it's funny. I wear a different hat all the time. So is it still echoing, Whiskey Dick?
He's saying that. Oh no, he's saying it, echo is gone now.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, there was an echo for a bit.
Yeah, I had to hit the mute on the actual playback. So
all good.
Yeah.
So
did you grade the groove? You gave
I gave it a 90 without water, 91 with. It's surprisingly like sweet and fruity. Like you get like a lot of like apple and crazy things that it like you get apple from normal Ardbeg, but like I get like some like different notes too, like dessert notes.
Okay.
I normally get from Ardbeg.
Yep. We won't get our groove in Alberta until the end of the month.
You're getting the committee release, or you're getting the regular one?
I will get the committee release, but either one of them will not be released until the end of the month. The distributor holds on to it until the beginning of June all the time for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's weird. I was on the Kensington Wine Market website today, and they said that this one was sold out, which I don't even remember them releasing it. So I don't know. Maybe it was just for preferred customers, like a couple boxes or something like that. I'm not sure.
Whiskey Dick has a question. If you could only have burritos or pizza for the rest of your life, which would you choose, and why? Why would it be burritos? I picked burritos. I didn't even read the bottom of the question because I can actually.
Just because it can be more diverse.
What was that?
I said I probably pick burrito as well because it can be more diverse. But I love me a good pizza. Like
yeah, but you can open up a burrito and make it into a pizza.
That's true too.
And you can make a pizza into a burrito if you want it.
Yeah, I guess so. That'd be a big burrito, but
yeah. Well, so far pizza's winning out of the guys on the chat. So
Andrew M is saying liver curls. I'm guessing he's talking about drinking whiskey on a regular basis. It's like doing liver curls. It's working out the liver.
Well, I never thought of it that way. Then my liver is freaking Ron Coleman. Slowly lifting. Eating a fatty liver. I suppose I should pour myself some whiskey though while I'm on a whiskey show, eh?
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
All right, I got a new giant glass.
Those glasses kill me. I don't know.
These aren't even the ones. This is not the same one that I had in the other show.
My buddy boss is saying wood oven pizza, and I think that's the deal breaker right there. You get like if you can have wood oven pizza for the rest of your life, I think you got to go with that because it's delicious.
That's basically a Hot Pocket. Well, they're not good.
You don't like wood oven pizza? Like a fire, like the traditional way to make pizza, like the classic Italian way.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, in Italy, do they call them a pizza?
Yeah.
And how come we don't switch back and forth on the screen when we're talking?
We do. We are.
Oh, I'm just stuck on my screen. So.
Is there the white box around your face at the bottom?
There's a white box around my space. Yeah.
Yeah. So click it one more time, and then it'll here and go back and forth.
Just like Whiskey Dick said, technology. Isn't it wonderful? Here's what I'm going to drink.
Oh, very nice. That's a cool little sample.
Yeah, I think I got that from Chateau Louis. So
that's a beauty right there. I love that whiskey.
Yeah, it is good. So just on the nose there, that's a real quick, very floral for me anyway. Santa Cruz, and thanks, Whiskey Dick. Now everybody's hungry and they're going to leave the live to go eat.
I know. The Whiskey Thief joined us. We also have, like I said, my buddy P-Boss, Paulo. What's going on, brother? Jason Coates. How's it going, buddy? I didn't miss anybody, I don't think. We've had pretty active chat going on.
You don't do 3 to 5 minutes of charades at the beginning of your show like the Whiskey Dick did?
I missed that the first 3 minutes or so. I came in a bit later, like probably about 10 minutes in or so.
Oh. Thoughts on
Cruisin' is breaking open the 1999 Balbler. I'm very curious about that, actually. Let me know how that is, brother.
Wow, this is not even that strong, and I'm coughing already. Better have a sip.
That's it. Cure the little virus that might be creeping in.
Oh, I got some stuff for that. The guys think I'm crazy, but it's just a little tiny bottle my brother brought back from Thailand. Nothing but Thai characters written on it. And you just, as soon as you feel sick, just start inhaling that stuff. It's, I tell you, it works.
I thought you were going to say something like, I just snort cocaine or something.
Well, wait, I don't, so what? What are you saying?
I don't know if that would work, man. I don't think that.
There's something wrong with snorting cocaine?
I'm not judging. I'm just saying. I don't think that's going to help.
That's all right. Let's see if I can find it. I left it right here. There it is.
So, Paulo has the 1990 Balbler, but I think his was bottled in 2016, so 26 years old. I'm wondering if you noticed any difference, because he had an opportunity to try my 25-year-old Balbler. I wonder if there's a difference between the tastes. Whiskey Dick is heading out. Have a good night, buddy. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
So there's a new one in the chat. Multi-Haggis Muncher. I never met.
That's a good name.
That's awesome. I like it.
I see a Port Charlotte on the table, Rob.
Port Charlotte on the table. Have you tried the 2007 CC01? I have not. You know what? Alberta has a bunch of those code whiskey. I'm not even sure who makes that. Is that Brook Laddie as well? I'm not sure. But I saw a bunch of them today, actually, that I was looking at. But I have never tried one myself. Actually, Aquavite Roy, he said that he would send me a sample of one that he has. It's not that one, but I don't know if it's coming anytime soon. I don't know. Like I just got nominated for his blind challenge, so maybe it'll come in that package. Maybe it will be one of the things, and I won't even be able to recognize it because I've never tried it before.
This is good, but someone's saying that they had a 1990. It was a 27-year-old, but this is not. This was bottled in 2015.
Yeah, that's the one that I've had.
The second release, yeah.
They're all second release. So it's 1990 second release, and there's 2003, 2004, 2005. No, sorry, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and I think this is the last year, the 2017. Sorry, last year was the last year. They just released a 91, I believe. So like that's technically going to be the third release. So they did an 89, that was the first release, 90, and now the 91. Kind of confusing, but
yeah. Why do you have to be so complicated?
You know what?
You're a teacher,
right? Write Val Blair and ask them, because I don't make the rules. I just have to follow them. Unfortunately,
you just enforce them.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, see, Santa Cruz is saying that his is 27 years old. So, have you visited your whiskey lately? 6. Which whiskey? Which the Val Blair? Are you talking about the 1990s, Nielsen? I finished my bottle of 1990 a long while ago, so unfortunately that's one of my trophies up here on the shelf.
That's a nice one, John Post, 1991 for $140.
Yeah, that's a great price, man. Wow, that's a great price.
What's Malted in Montreal drinking? Some wine,
some stout, coffee stout. He's got to recommend some good coffee stouts to me, because I'm new to milk stouts and coffee stouts, and I'm really starting to like them, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna switch my my internet carrier right now.
George is asking the most remarkable Val Blair that I've had, and it has to be, and I don't know if the other one counts, so it's one of two things. It's this 883 right here, which is absolutely stunning, and I can't wait to review this. I'm trying to hold off, but it's very difficult. And then I also have I've reviewed it already. It's the Val Blair 1993 Gordon MacPhail, which I reviewed this year, which honestly was probably the best sherry whiskey I've ever had in my life. It's phenomenal. So it's a toss-up between those two.
I don't know why I'm trying not to cough here so bad.
You're coming down with something, or maybe those fumes are getting to you in the refractory or whatever it's called.
Well, it's actually a plant that makes urea and other things for fertilizer, right? So there's ammonia on this plant. That's your biggest fear.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate the smell of it. I hate the.
Yeah. Oh well, it's a good thing you're a teacher. Smelling kids' farts all day long is way better, eh?
You can crack a window and that gets rid of that.
I remember having a teacher. He was a sub, and he could not stop passing gas the entire day, and he's up on the chalkboard trying to write, and they're always, of course, kids, we're not going to stop laughing. We couldn't help it. He's the poor guy. I don't know why he didn't just leave.
Passing gas all day. You guys are the poor ones, not him.
Oh yeah, that's true. But well, I didn't think. Yeah, nowadays I feel bad for him, and that was like freaking, I don't know, 45 years ago. So
tortured that guy for sure.
Well, you can't help but laugh, but you're a kid.
Yeah. The Whiskey Thief is asking if my Deanston 20-year-old has improved at all. That's a good question. I haven't tried it. I'm going to give it a sniff right now and see if anything's changed.
Is Chris Britton or Breton in here? Because he hooked me up where I could find some virgin oak, and I'm a big fan of virgin oak. I think because of all the, are you a sherry? Are you whatever?
Yeah.
Peated to this and that. I'm like, now my go-to would be a virgin oak. And none of the 20s are around out here that I've seen.
Yeah, no, I don't think this came to Canada at all, to be honest with you. This I was lucky enough to get from Richie. I don't know if he's in the chat. I haven't seen him. He might be in bed. He works different shifts and stuff like that. But I purchased this. He went out and grabbed it at his local liquor store. I purchased it from him, and then he shipped it up to Ohio for me. So it actually smells a lot better. So, and I didn't get any whiffs of ammonia. So maybe that's settled, and maybe the nightmare.
Ammonia?
I actually enjoy this now. So we'll see. So Connor is saying that the 83 is amazing. Loved it. Tried a few years ago, but couldn't afford it. It's all sold out now. Yeah, so there's a few places in Canada that still have the 83. It's pretty much gone as well. I was lucky, very, very lucky enough to get 2 of these bad boys. Stashed one, have this one over here. It's open. I opened it on my daughter's baptism, actually. So.
Yes, I saw. Yep. Did you give her a little, or was that for the priest?
No, I didn't give her any. She's actually a very well-behaved baby, so I don't have to worry about assisting her to sleep.
But the priest, he's not so behaved.
No, actually, my priest would definitely have taken a shot. He's a funny guy. He would definitely have taken one. So, for those of you that are hesitating as to whether or not you should pull the trigger on this bad boy right here, before I review it, this is my second little dram of it. I'm just nosing it right now, and if the next few words out of my mouth appeal to you, run out and grab it right away because it's limited. I know that there's 28,000 bottles, but honestly, this is high quality stuff. It tastes like a sherry Macallan that has a little touch of smoke. So like maybe 10 ppm, maybe a little bit less. But there is smoke. It's noticeable, especially on the finish, which I find is characteristic of Highland Park. And I know that Highland Park and Macallan share bodegas. They share a cooperage. They share all these things because they're the same company. They're owned by the same company. But I've
What's
never
a bodega?
a bodega is like they're bodega is the word for a wine, I guess vineyard in Spain. That's where they produce all the sherry. But I bet you Eric Waite's still in the channel and he's gonna correct me right now.
I just like asking those questions. That's all.
Oh, Whiskey Sneerson's asking if I've been to Last Straw recently to see my barrel. I haven't. I was supposed to go this week because we're going to do a little small experiment with my 5-liter barrel. So I will be going in the next week or two, and I'll make sure that so it's Bodega is a Spanish winery. So I was almost right. I think I was
That's
right.
not what Bayo said. Mr. Bayo, thank you very much. I'll take your word over everybody else's.
Ruben Bayo is saying that it's a cellar. Okay. Yeah, so a wine cellar maybe, but like a huge wine cellar. Basically, that's where they get all their sherry casks from. They have a cooperage which builds the casks. They send it to their bodega. Their bodega fills it with sherry or seasons it, quote unquote, with sherry, and then they send it back to Scotland to age their whiskey. So this is like a 17-year-old single cask sherry. Probably mostly first fill, maybe a little bit of second fill, pretty dark. And it reminds me a lot of Macallan, which I don't get very often in Highland Park. It's like Macallan with a little bit of saltiness and smokiness, which is like, in my opinion, one of the best balances in the world.
I'm asking Eric Waite a question.
Right on. So Paulo is asking what I would compare it to. Honestly, I would compare it to the Macallan 18-year-old if it was higher ABV. So this is 52.9% with a bit of smoke and a little less sherry intensity. So you got quite a bit of that sherry intensity, but not as much as that Highland Park that Macallan 18-year-old. And then higher ABV, so more spirit intensity. And a little bit of smokiness. Okay, I'm gonna dive in.
Eric and I are we're on a little French merry-go-round right now.
A chateau is a French bodega.
And a bodega is Spanish for a chateau.
Man, the finish on this is stunning.
So I should buy a couple bottles and sell them for double the price in Toronto.
No, what you should do is buy 2 bottles, drink one, and then store the other for the future when you want to drink something.
I need to get back home and protect all the whiskeys in Alberta.
You're talking Highland Park Distillery. This is the Highland Park 17-year-old dark. I'm not sure if that's what he's referring to. I think that's what he's referring to.
It was a shitty store in Brooklyn.
What did Swami say? I thought a bodega was a shitty corner store in Brooklyn.
No, that would be in Kensington, Ontario, and it was called King and Kensington. And that was one of my favorite shows growing up.
So for this one, the nose is nice. The palate is phenomenal, in my opinion. I don't know. I got to review it still, but I don't even want to add water to this. I know it's a bit hot, but you don't need to.
Have you an interest in Glenallachie and what they plan to release, Rob? Just curious, as you have a liking for Glendronach.
I'm very curious. I've messaged the company with no response, so they obviously don't care about me.
What are they doing?
They basically took the old master distiller, who's the famous master distiller at Glendronach, and he started up Glenallachie or Gaelicky. I'm not pronouncing that properly, but and they already have, like, they're releasing all these new expressions. So they're obviously sourcing their liquor from other distilleries, because they have like an 18-year-old coming out, a 20-year-old coming out, a whole bunch of different ones. So I'm not sure how they would do that if they're a brand new distillery, unless they've been around for a long time, giving like blended whiskeys some whiskey. I don't know how that works. Richard
always get that.
He really likes Highland Park, and he's wondering if the 17 is available in Ontario. This one is not going to be as cheap as the Highland Park full volume, unfortunately. This one is a lot more expensive. I got it for a good deal, but still a good deal being like $360 in $350 in Western Province, which my friend over here does not want me to mention. So I won't.
There is no provinces in the West. There's nothing past Manitoba. there isn't. Especially now that I'm here. That it's an old distillery that was currently mothballed.
Ah, okay, cool. Connor's saying that you can't really source whiskey in Scotland. I didn't know that.
What do you mean you can't source whiskey in Scotland?
So, unless you call it a blend, you can't call a single malt your own unless it was aged in your distillery. So that makes a lot of sense, actually. Independent bottlers.
Exactly.
So they're not calling it their own. They're putting, Deanston by Gordon MacPhail or whatever else on that bottle. You know what I mean?
There must be some ways around that, because what about is it Tormore? Or I have one at home. It was a very good price for an 18-year-old.
It could be like also another company that's doing what Connor's saying is a lot of these companies, much like Glendronach, they mothball for like 10 years. They disappear. They're non-existent, maybe even longer. And then they have all this old whiskey sitting in a mothballed distillery or, whatever, like wherever they store their warehouse or whatever. And then someone buys it, and because it's worth X amount of dollars, maybe the government owns it, maybe whatever. Someone buys it, and then they make use of all that whiskey sitting there. They basically just found the gold mine, essentially. That's what the guys that bought Glendronach did.
I really hate it when they ask you your age and they make you type it all the way out. Can't they just ask, are you of legal age? I mean, it still makes you liable because they asked, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, Tormore website says that they are a distillery, but someone was telling me that the 18 was, and I can't see how they would get away with it, but it's primarily Glenfarclas, but it can't be.
Go snuggle with the wife, buddy. Cheers. Swami from Alton, Montreal. Simple Diversion just checked in. I have a scheduled. Sorry to interrupt you, Daniel. I know you were talking.
Oh, no, that's all right.
I have a scheduled event with Simple Diversion. That's Rob and Graham. They're really cool. They do cigars and whiskey. They're doing a cool job. They're really funny. Honestly, they have like a dry humor that I actually really enjoy. So check them out.
Dry humor.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Can't explain it. Like it's
like probably from a fantasy novel.
No. No, it's not.
Is that what's behind you, fantasy or sci-fi? Or fantasy?
This top shelf is majority fantasy. There's one sci-fi. Then, yeah, mostly fantasy, a couple sci-fi books, some Stephen King stuff. Mostly fantasy, though. This Under the Dome is, I guess, somewhere between sci-fi and fantasy.
So what I really think is that if you open up those big,
the one that Phil from Whiskey Wednesday just read, really good book.
But what I think is that if you open those big thick books,
yeah,
he's got a hidden bottle of whiskey in there.
This is where I keep my guns, actually. That's
yeah. What do you mean your guns? What are you, a wise guy now?
Yeah. Okay. You need a license over here to have a gun, though. So.
Only if you want to be legal.
Santa Cruz, and thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it. Super chat. I really appreciate that, buddy. Simple Diversion is saying The Name of the Wind and Way of Kings. Honestly, those are my two favorite books of all time. Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss and The Way of Kings. And honestly, the second parts to both of those books are incredible. Santa Cruz said, "Great job, boys." I think he's just referring to me because you haven't really done much. I don't even think you're drinking whiskey tonight.
I just drank some, but you know what? Because Swami left, I'm going to open up a beer from Alberta in Saskatchewan.
if you guys... go ahead, sorry.
Hold on, I got to get a beer glass.
If you guys like whiskey that finishes with like flavors of espresso and dark chocolate and all that stuff, you're going to love this kind of part, the dark, man. It is such honestly, my only criticism is that it's not like it could have been a little bit more peated. I think it would have benefited from being like a touch more peated. But other than that, fantastic stuff.
Anybody on here read Whiskey Advocate?
I've read a couple articles or magazines. I mean,
they had an interesting article now, and this is what I'm drinking right now, guys. Made in Alberta, Big Rock beer. Yeah. And freaking way cheaper than Saskatchewan. Because I don't want to drink up all my Bal Blair in one sitting here. They have I
want to have Connor on my channel one day because the guy's like a wealth of knowledge.
He's phenomenal, yeah.
From Scotland, I believe, right? I'm correct on that? He's saying that Glengallicky was built in 1967, then sold to Chivas, who had it mothballed most of the time. Then Billy Walker bought it in 2017. All right, so there you go. Billy Walker, the infamous Billy Walker. A drop of water. Let's see if anything changes here. Some nice Scotch mist on that one.
Loch Ness said, share the Western love. Listen, there's no Western love anymore with all the Listen, don't even get me going. No political conversations here. You're freaking... don't even get me started. I'm actually not involved in anything to do with politics. I just like to rant sometimes. But Daniel's
been extra bitter these days. Since he's been shipped out to Saskatchewan, he's not happy about it.
And yet, I love being a moose jaw. So, what do you know?
So you love Moose Jaw, but you're just not happy. Is it just the time of year? You don't like the month of May?
Yeah, I don't like the month of May. I'm turning 50. 50 years old.
When is that exactly?
Look at that face. It doesn't matter. I don't talk about that.
So this month, obviously.
Don't think it was mothballed most of the time. They have a lot of spirit in the warehouses. I bet you're right. So anyway, what I was saying, and Duncan brought it up here, that he has a subscription to Whiskey Advocate, is they posted on Twitter today an article they had for, or just about how peated whiskey actually is very good in hot summer days. And I thought it was a very neat perspective because think about it. You're out camping, you got the fire on, the smoke, and the burning wood, and the ash, and all that stuff. So yeah, it's all about perspective. Eh? Everybody thinks they want to drink something light and that cheap that they can pour into ice. But no, my bourbon journey. Hello, Scotty boy.
Hey Scott, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, Jeremy's saying that you look great for 50. He's hitting on you a little bit.
Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate it. I see you're a man of good taste and high quality.
Jeremy's a great guy. Jeremy's a solid dude. Well, actually, Jeremy's going to be on my channel quite a bit in the month of June because we're going to be doing a whole bunch of bourbons together. We'll be doing this Elijah Craig barrel proof together.
I hate you. I don't know why I lost my bourbon contact in Canada here or in Alberta to get that stuff. Actually, wait a minute. I'm 3 hours from the U.S. border.
There you go. Drive down, man.
Right in the middle. All I'm doing is driving from one area of the prairies to the next. I doubt I have anything at the border city.
How brutal is that drive? Like, literally, you're staring at the exact same thing for...
You can watch your dog run away for 3 days here at least.
I love that thing. That's too funny.
Seriously. They sell skis. This is how long the skis are in Saskatchewan. Do you know why?
No.
They're any longer. They get stuck in the ditch. Sorry, Whiskey Sneerson. He's from Saskatchewan.
This is from Saskatchewan. That's right. Poor guy. I've never been anywhere west, actually, in Canada, unfortunately. I've been west in the United States, which kind of doesn't actually make sense. But
yeah, it doesn't, but that's all right.
Whatever.
You're drinking at Highland Park.
Yeah. Well, what's your beef with Highland Park now?
Nothing, because I know where that bottle came from. Never been west, my ass.
I've never personally been, but my money's been quite a bit.
Yeah. Although now that Whiskey Sneerson has come back to the chat here, I've got to go to the mineral salt thingy there and soak my bones. I wonder if they'll let me drink a whiskey while I'm sitting there in the hot tub or whatever they have it there.
That's like a natural spring somewhere?
The natural springs, yeah. This whole area is, if you were to drink the unfiltered water, it won't kill you, but it's salty.
Really?
Yeah. If you're in even farther down and a little more east is an area called Esterhazy, and it is salt water. Swear to God.
That's weird. Why?
Because the ground is full of potash, which is basically salt. I mean, that's what's used in the fertilizer process. Yeah. The term potash, I don't know where that comes from. One of the engineers tried to explain that. It has something to do with the burning of a tree and how they got the potash out. I don't know. They make table salt. They make salts that you put in your medicine as a filler, everything.
Interesting.
What did he say?
No, I was going to say that, first of all, Simple Diversion said that we're more than welcome to visit Wisconsin whenever we like. That'd be cool. Good beer.
They said they want us to bring down some good beer?
He has good beer is what he's saying.
Sorry.
And then Vegas Art is saying Under the Dome by Stephen King is really good. The book is awesome, in my opinion. It kind of ends a little odd, but whatever. The majority of that book is awesome. The TV show, I don't know if you've ever watched the TV show, but it falls short. Definitely falls short.
Your water has pot. Yeah, in what, Eric? The bong?
Our water has potash too, but the good kind, pot ashes.
Yeah. It's probably he probably turns a whiskey bottle or a wine bottle into a bong.
Yeah. I'm sure my brothers will know how to do that.
I don't even know what a bong is.
Yeah, I don't know either, to be honest with you.
The TV show is weak. Oh, there's a fantasy TV show about some
on the under the dome. Honestly, it's too bad because I don't know. Have you read any Stephen King at all?
Yeah, like Cujo.
Cujo, okay. Have you watched or read it?
Both.
Both, okay. So like, most of his stuff, actually, the remake of it, I actually liked. It was a bit cheesy, but whatever. But most of Stephen King's books that are turned into movies, for the exception of The Shining, The Green Mile, and Shawshank Redemption, are like, they all fall short. They all are cheesy. They all, like, the horror ones especially.
Yeah, well, what isn't that why they redid a miniseries of The Shining?
Yeah, but like even that was not that good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's my opinion, of course. Actually, that's a good segue, because what I wanted to announce, which will be starting very shortly, is I'm going to be reviewing, not on this channel. I'm going to start a separate channel called Sixer Reviews. I've already started it. You guys can subscribe if you like, but there's nothing on there right now. It's going to be movies, TV shows, books, that sort of stuff. So when Game of Thrones comes on, I'll be reviewing each one of the episodes. But I'll still be doing like my live shows after the Game of Thrones episodes. So we'll see. This season is going to be a live show for every Game of Thrones episode.
Will you be drinking whiskey out of a big giant
carved
mug?
Conch.
A conch.
I don't know. Honestly, no.
On the review, you should have a block of cedar and carve your own mug out of it while you're talking about it.
Yeah.
Your own Glencairn glass.
I need to get the Jon Snow sword. You don't watch Game of Thrones, do you?
No.
Duncan is saying that Cujo has a totally different ending than the movie. Movie compared to the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that happens far too often. Jeremy's saying that I'm going to be doing board games.
Yeah, and his first guest will be Bart.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It won't. I'm not gonna mix the two. I'm not gonna mix the two. This is gonna be my whiskey show. It's gonna stay my whiskey show. But I do plan on doing other reviews, books, like I said, movies, TV shows, maybe even some video games. I don't have a lot of time for video games anymore. I used to love video games, but I don't play them anymore. I haven't played them for a long while. I recently got the new game God of War. I don't know if anybody's played that in the chat, but that's pretty cool.
So my bourbon journey and Simple Diversion just realized they both live in Wisconsin. How big is Wisconsin?
Well, it's easy not to run into people unless you live in a small town, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
I bet you they'd run into each other.
Half of the people that we speak to are from Alberta, and none of you guys know each other, or hardly any of you guys associate with each other. So. No,
and I mean, even one guy was in a chat here from Moose Jaw, so I haven't heard back from him, but that's all right.
There's not, like in Ontario, there's not a ton of major cities, whereas I think Alberta has many more major cities than Ontario. Like there's one huge city that like kind of encompasses like a 100-kilometer radius, but other than Toronto and like Mississauga, Vaughan, they're all around each other. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but what do you consider a huge city? We have Calgary, and then 3 hours away we have Edmonton.
Yeah.
And 5 hours from there you have Fort McMurray, which really is just transient. Yep. Edmonton is like a bunch of people on wagon wheels all heading west.
You got Banff as well.
Banff is, yeah, but it's not. I mean, it's way bigger. Banff, Canmore, Jasper.
Yeah,
But
so
Banff is all tourist.
widely spread. Like that's the thing, is they're widely spread. Whereas in Ontario, everything is very concentrated near the southern like border, basically.
That's right. Yeah. So Santa Cruzan is from Wisconsin too. So apparently half of your viewers are from Wisconsin. Do you know why there's so many people drinking whiskey in Wisconsin?
Because there's not much else to do. What's our excuse then? I live in a major city. There's a lot to do here. I just like.
That's how you're just coping with the stress of too many people. I don't know.
So Duncan is saying that I can go with simple diversion and do the Glenfiddich Winter Storm while watching Game of Thrones, because winter is coming. Winter Storm, winter is coming. I did that pun on Instagram, but not too many people appreciated it.
We have 2 seasons in Canada. It's winter and construction season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, we are approaching the 11:20 mark, which would mean that I've been on for about an hour now. I'm surprised you guys stuck around this long. I've been babbling for quite some time. We've been talking books and a whole bunch of other stuff, but we had some whiskey, and very good whiskey. I do think that I should probably part, because otherwise tomorrow's going to be a rough morning for me.
That's a good idea. You got to tuck the babies in.
You wake up earlier than me. What time are you waking up tomorrow?
4:30 probably.
Yeah, so 4:30 your time, which means that it will be 6:30 my time, and I will still be in bed for another 20 minutes.
That's amazing, eh? Well, thanks for having me on, boss.
No problem, man. Guys, since you're in the chat, if you haven't already, but I'm sure you have, but there are some newer people in the chat tonight. So check out Daniel's channel, WhiskyThrottle. It's all one word. I don't know if it matters if you have to put a capital letter for whiskey, like the W, and a capital T for throttle, but do it anyway, because it might help the search a little faster.
It might. You'll know you don't have me if you see a bunch of dirt bike guys crashing. So
yeah, exactly. All right, but really appreciate everybody tonight. Really appreciate the super chats and the conversation. You guys are all awesome. Thank you very much. Daniel, thank you for jumping in, man. That was awesome.
Thank you, buddy.